Good morning, Mount Zion. Good morning. Good morning, Mount Zion.
Good morning.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be here. As you know, my name is Kia around here, but I am Lieutenant Colquitt now. It truly feels good to be home, even just for a day. I mean, we don't get to come down here often, but when we do, it's always good to be back. Place, that's home. I first want to thank my family for coming. Everybody's my family, but my close immediate family. I do thank y'all for coming. Okay. Around the church, I've always been known as Sandra's girl or Sandra's daughter. Eventually, I'll get grown enough to be known by my own name, but I'll take that for now. Right. And as Miss Cynthia said, I recently graduated from North Carolina A&T State University. Yes. Can I get an Aggie pride? Aggie pride. I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology as magna cum laude honors graduate with high honors. And I finished my ROTC program, which was truly a battle in itself. Mm-hmm. I studied, I partied, and I studied some more and I partied harder. And I would not change any part about it. And when Miss Cynthia asked me to come speak, I was kind of elated, to be here because, like I said, I haven't been back for so long, and I felt like I had something to give now, And I wanted to show some gratitude for the people that helped set my foundation, which I was able to stand on to succeed thus far. So the youth, I'm only 22, so all the older people, I can't really tell y'all much that y'all don't already know. But for the youth, I can give you something or some things that helped me go along the way. Yes. So when I was thinking about what I would speak about, 5 words came to my head of what I used over the course of, beyond being in college. Yes. The first word I have for you is faith. Now, if you have not already come into situations where you had to use your faith, you're going to, it's the inevitable, it's going to happen. Yes. So I have on my graduation cap Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6. And in that it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not into thine own understanding, and always acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. And I had that because a lot of the times I did not know what I was doing, but I was steady working because I had the goal that I could not see in front of me. It wasn't tangible, I didn't have it yet, but I knew I had to keep working in order to obtain it. Yes. So it's prominent that you have your faith because a lot of times that's going to be the only thing that you have to go off of. And you have to be your own motivation, and that's where faith stems from. So, I'll tell you a story about how I have to use my faith. Okay, so it was my sophomore year, and I don't know why I made the decision to take chemistry and calculus at the same time, but I did. And I like math, but that's a different type of math. That's more so of your grandma cooking, but she does not use a cookbook. It's just kind of you throw things in there. Right. So yeah, I did that while I was doing chemistry, and yeah, that class was just it just wasn't working. And I kept calling my parents, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna have to drop it. I know y'all don't even say, but this is what's gonna have to happen. They was like, no, keep going. So, every test turned out bad. Every test. And I kept going to that teacher's office, and I'm like, Dr. D, you know what I need, and you got it because you're giving me my grade. Right. So he told me, he was like, well, you just got to keep coming. I kept going to tutoring, every day, and nothing was happening. However, when I got to the final grade, there was a C+. Now I don't strive on C's, however, that was that C was blessed. And I literally just kept doing stuff. Did not know what I was doing, but I just had to keep working. Yes. I would have been more disappointed myself, than getting that C+. So, with having your faith, another important thing you have to remember is you have to work while having faith, because faith without works is dead. Like, you can't. It's like wishing upon a star, you know. So James chapter 22 verse 26 says, For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. It's imperative that you be strong in your belief and in your work ethics. So God is willing to make the impossible probable for you, because it really was impossible. So my second word for you is discipline. Especially when you're like out of your parents' house, because I mean, granted, they make you go for school and, you know, make you study and things like that. But when you go to college, it's a whole new world. Or me, like even if you're not in college, you go out anywhere, it's a whole new world. So for me, this consisted on a lot of things. You know, as you get older, you're in charge of your own freedom. You're in charge of the important decisions that you make in your life that not only affect you in the present, I am a witness, they affect you in your future. It can be long time, but it will affect you, every decision that you make. So, of course, you know, in college I was young, wild, and free, as I tell my kids. I like to party, but they never had to tell me to study. Like, nobody was ever responsible for my grades but me. So, you have to know whether, I mean, you need to stay home or go to the party, because you can't make every party. You have to understand that. And I know it seems like you can, but I'm going to tell you why you can't do it. Okay? You have to know that your decisions, like, they don't seem like they're major right now, and even the people that you associate yourself with aren't major right now, but they are. And with maintaining discipline, it requires you to grow. So you have to be able to grow. For my definition from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, growth is the process of developing or maturing physically, mentally, or spiritually. So in order to grow, I mean, you don't have to grow physically, because I don't, you know, so. But it's more so of a mental thing, you know. You have to grow spiritually and mentally in order to not remain in the same spot of your life. If not, you're not really living, like you're alive, but you're not really living. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11 says, When I was a child, I used to speak like a child, think like a child, reason like a child. But when I became a man, I did away with childish things. The more you grow up and have your own experiences, you'll understand like what's good for you and what's not. And a part of growing is you have to know when to let things go out of your life. Because I have lived that God will teach you the same lesson over and over and over again until you learn. Because it's not like you can have it your way, because it's just not designed to be like that. Okay. You have to understand, to me, I was thinking the other day, like, how can I put this in a metaphor? It's impossible literally to walk, like be in one door and still walking through another. Like you have to get out of that door before you can literally go to another place. And granted, you know what I'm saying, like learning and experiencing things even when they're not good for you, it's not all necessarily bad. You have to embrace all your chapters in life, but don't keep repeating them. So with growth and discipline and things like that, patience is another word that, you know, my growth has stemmed from. I choose it because it is truly a virtue, and I learned that, of course, I want things when I want it. However, I understand that sometimes my timing may not be perfect for it because I can mess it up, right? So 2 Corinthians verse 5, chapter 7 says, For we walk by faith, not by sight. So you have to understand, like, when it's your time, it's gonna be your time, right? You can't rush life. So everybody knows this is a big technology, social media era for our generation. And even the older generation is trying to come into it. I follow you all on Facebook. So for all our Insta Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Mature crowd, that is you, because I follow you all. A lot of times you'll see on there like people doing all these big things, and you know, like you kind of feel like you're behind a power curve and things like that. But you have to understand, like, everything that glitters is not gold. Right? And you can't let the internet rush you. You know, like, your time is your time. And, like, so a lot of times people be on, you know, social media to get attention and things like that, which is nothing that's wrong with it if that's your thing. But at the same time, you can't allow that to determine, like, oh, I'm not in the right spot in my life. Because you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be. Right. You know, it's the inevitable. So as I would say, a pastor in Greensboro of the church I go to, he always says, like, if you're not appreciative and grateful for what you have right now, why would God bless you with more? Yeah, you have to be able to work with what you have right then and be humble about it, and then He will supply when necessary in your season. So, if you are worried about where you are, just simply focus on yourself and master your own craft. Don't try to be like nobody else. Master what you have and what you're good at and what you have to offer other people, and make it something serious. So when it's your time, people will automatically know that you won't have to put it out there.
That's right.
However, when it is your time, you always have to remember humility. Like, you have to be humble, because as quick as you can get it, you can lose it. For my definition of humility, I looked up, which is in the state of being humble and free from arrogance. And I say that because it's important to remember from whom all your blessings flow. Because you did not do, you know what I'm saying? Like, none of us are supersonic. Like, you didn't do it by yourself. Right. Even with work and, you know, doing all these great things that you're doing, some obstacles that come your way can't be explained by, you know, like science or reason or things like that. Like, it's purely God, and you know, like, you wouldn't have made it without it. So I don't know if the church told you, my mom, she's a reporter. So it would shock me if she didn't tell you all. But September 2015, I was in a car accident. And I was actually coming from down here. And I was on the highway, and like, it was a bad car accident. And the crazy part about it was, before I got in the accident, the highway was super duper busy, like busy. And I was driving, and then a truck hit me from behind, and my car went over in the, you know, the lane. And my tires busted, and my car went spinning across the highway and hit the other wall. But the crazy part that was crazy to me was that no cars were coming while I was spinning across the highway. And yeah, it was so, I remember it so vividly, because I'm like, oh God, because I knew at some point my car had to stop because I was spinning. So yeah, at that point I declared, like, you have to be here for a reason. So you need to give back, and, you know, try to let other people know that if you're still here, it's for a purpose. Like, it's literally, if you have the ability to walk, think, and, you know, see, like, a whole bunch of people are out there wanting for it. Because I, you know, like, when I'm in school, well, when I was in school, excuse me, I used to do like a whole bunch of community service with like people in shelters and things like that, and literally it's like people out there that can't see and walk and things like that. So as youth, if you are able to do all these things and you are wasting it and sitting down and not doing nothing with it and being unproductive, that's a shame. And another thing I learned from the car accident is to not put all your love and cherished tangible things. You know, like my car literally, I was like, oh, that's my baby. But when it got hit, when I tell you it was gone in like 0.5 seconds, like in a blink of an eye. And I got a new car like 2 weeks after that. However, you're not replaceable. So you need to, and the people around you are not replaceable.
That's right.
You know, I went to school with a whole bunch of people, and I've seen people that did not make it as far as living. You know what I mean? So you can't put all your hopes and wants into things and money and things like that, because I mean, it says money is the root of all evil, because it is. Like, if somebody takes it from you, then you're nothing. So get things that nobody can take from you.
Amen.
I.e. your knowledge. Nobody can ever take your knowledge from you. You know, your experiences, you have to go experience the world, because nobody can ever take it from you. Your love and every compassion, nobody can take things like that from you. So, I would say my big thing to tell the youth is get what you have to get and then invest it in other people. Like, it's important to invest back into people that invested in you, and then people also that don't have it. Because at the end of the day, it's like all one fight. And most importantly, the parents don't love it. You have to show gratitude to your parents. Like, I mean, I know when you're young, you probably don't get it because they're on your case and things like that. I know. But especially for dads, you know, you can't go nowhere. Shout out to you. But as you grow older, you're going to really see, like, your parents will transition more so from being your parents into your friends. And, you know, you get a lot of friends in your lifetime, personally, but you only get 2 of those types of friends. Like, true friends, down the ride friends. Like, I can call my mama and dad, and they will be there in 0.5 seconds and ready to solve the problem. So, you have to, I mean, I know I have a very colorful attitude, but colorful. I often get enthused because I'm just like my dad. However, it is imperative that you watch your tongue when you speak, because you cannot take back what you say. You can't apologize. You can't take it back. It is imperative that you take care of them when you can, because this life is a cycle. So they take care of you, they get old, and they need somebody to take care of them. When you can now. And always text them and let them know where you are at.
Yes.
Because, especially when you leave the house, because they are going to work.
Amen.
Teach them how to work their phones. We just had a classic example. That's okay. You know your job. Okay. Teach them how to take selfies. So, you know, when they go on social media, it's, you know, so they're right. And also, agree with them, even when you know that you're right. Deep down, you know you're right. They just want to hear that they're right. You know, it's a parent thing. I don't know. I'm not a parent. Just let them be right. That's all it takes. So the conversation is there. You know. And the last word I have for you all is adversity. And the definition I have for that is a state or instance of serious or continued difficulty or misfortune. And the word that caught my attention was continuous, because, I mean, you will continue to face adversity as probably as long as you live. So you just got to learn to deal with it. As you all know, I commissioned to the United States Army as a second lieutenant, and it was not easy to get there. Because over and over, I mean, being a young black officer, or being a young black female, period, that's doing the right thing, people will literally try to do everything in their power to stop you. You know, and people that outrank you and things like that. But it's just like you have to be persistent and prevail. Like you can't let little things stop you. Especially if you keep conquering them and they keep coming up. You gotta keep fighting.
Yes.
My question was, what do you do in the face of adversity? Do you let it define you? Do you let it stop you, worry you, make you fear, or do you prevail? Not only do you face adversity as your own individual person, but I feel like now we as a people are facing a lot of adversity present day, and it's similar to me, to the 1950s when our ancestors were fighting the civil rights movement, because a lot of it is still happening. Like I said, it's no secret we're in a flawed legal system, and stereotypes and discrimination exists based on our ethnicity and class. So the thing that I would tell you to do to fight that is be equipped. Like, don't be ignorant to the fact that things like this are going on.
Yes.
Learn and do some things like get your knowledge and get some type of credentials so that you can help the society in which you reside in.
Yes.
Youth, we are the present and the future because, I mean, our parents are getting a little more mature. So now it's our time, and it's like you can't take that lightly because there's other people rising to the occasion as well. You know, so you have to use your voice. Don't be timid. If you have something to say, make sure you think about it and then you say it because somebody else will say it.
Yes.
And use your contribution to change things. Your voice, credential, and your contribution has the power to change things. But you have to act. You have to vote when you can vote. You have to build yourself in the system, start businesses, and invest back into your own communities so they stay alive.
Yes.
And when it's time to represent yourself in school, on a job, or anywhere, period, represent yourself. Because you not only represent yourself, you represent where you came from.
Yes.
And you're going to show where you're going.
Yes.
By the way you represent yourself.
Yes.
And surround yourself with people that are doing the same thing, because your environment has a way of being either toxic on you or beneficial to you. Like you can't, it's birds of a feather flock together.
Yes.
So it's wherever you're at is what you're going to be.
Yes.
And I would also say remain accountable for your counterparts in the community. Like, don't just leave your brother, your sister hanging. Like, we're all accountable for one another, you know. Okay. So I would tell you all to stand up, stand in the face of adversity, because we are only meeting what others have already met. And I pray, it is my prayer and hope that your faith, discipline, patience, humility, and willingness to overcome adversity continues to prevail so you continue to have the best life journey that you can. And I hope that the kids under me, not kids, teenagers, whatever, I hope y'all all, if I continue to share my life experience with y'all, that you are inspired or at least encouraged, you know, to do good, because it's important that you do good, because soon enough you're going to have people under you watching you, whether you believe it or not. It has been my true honor to come back and speak today, even just for a snippet. And I hope everybody enjoyed it or learned something from it. And remember to pull somebody, as you progress, pull somebody so they can progress as well. Now I'm about to go to Texas on Tuesday for officer training until September. So I hope that you all continue to cover me in your prayers.
Yes.
And I will continue to try my best to reach my goals so I can come back and pull somebody else. Yes. I genuinely thank everyone for all your love and support, even like on graduating and things like that, even through high school, and you know, you all know me. Especially my parents. I'm their favorite. I'm just playing. But yeah, I thank everyone for your support, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.